Sheesh, testing anxiety is real. Don't let them lie to you. They don't want to see you succeed. Okay, testing anxiety is real, but we're gonna learn how to conquer it and become amazing testers. I got you. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time, if you are a new subscriber, like a lot of people are, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for clicking through. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so, okay? So anxiety, stress. In nursing school, you know that like 80% of the battle in nursing school is dealing with anxiety and stress, especially testing anxiety. I know that I began and I still do have testing anxiety. Tell me why at work. We're supposed to do like BLS, PALS, all those certifications. I get simple anxiety just from that because nursing school questions and testing are really traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I realized in nursing school that I do have testing anxiety, not to the point where I need to get medicated, but to the point where I have to consciously make an effort so that the anxiety doesn't reach a level where I cannot perform. Because not all testing anxiety is a bad thing. Not all testing stress is a bad thing. You need the adequate amount of stress. Too little stress, you begin not to care. Too much stress, your body cannot physically perform. Just the right amount of stress and you are good to go, okay? The very first thing I had to do when I was realizing, yo, this test got me stressing because like in my prereqs in high school, A's and B's students, like I was blasting through no problems. Got to nursing school and it was like the world just said skrr, pause. And tests became so hard for me because to get into nursing school you have to be really smart. So you're sitting there in the test and you're wondering why like I cannot pass for the life of me. It's because like I figured out for myself that my critical thinking skills was not up to par. Nursing school questions are completely different from regular testing. So if you're used to being an AP student, honor student, and you come to nursing and discover that you're struggling, it's because you're lacking critical thinking. Well, that was it for me, okay? So once I realized, okay, I have some anxiety that needs to be controlled, I had to ask myself, why? Yeah, NCLEX don't ask why, real life. You can ask why. Okay, well, the three major reasons why I had anxiety before test was for either the fact that I did not know the material, or I needed a Hail Mary, as in like this is test number 3, I need 100.50, yeah, to pass, or that the concept, the content was too difficult. Once I narrowed it down to which one affected me on the test, I was able to divide and conquer, legit. Okay, let's hit the I don't know factor. First of all, you need to be prepared. That is so crucial. When it came to testing, if I had a test on Thursday, I would start studying like 3 to 4 days in advance. So I'll start studying on Sunday. Usually that's my lighter days. So Sunday, I would try to do as much as a rubric or I'll break it in half. So Sunday, Monday, I'm doing half of the matrix, okay? And then when it came to Tuesday, I would, after I've tapped it out, I would then rewrite it, and I found out that was so key because there's something about rewriting your notes. Well, for me, because I'm a kinetic and visual learner, so I would rewrite my notes, and then all through Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm regurgitating, repeating, and let's say I had clinicals on Wednesday, the night before the test, or the day before the test, I would take my material to the clinicals, and I would review. Okay, so that's kind of how I time managed and I helped prepare myself for the exam. Now, when it comes to those Hail Marys, woo, that's between you and Jesus. Like, it is possible. I've done some major comebacks, like a class that I've never really made an A on, it happened. Okay, so extreme measures calls for extreme, extreme action. Yeah. And then lastly, if you found the content too hard, I highly suggest this wonderful thing called YouTube. Yes, there's so many informational YouTubers and YouTube videos out there available for the free, save the coins, okay? And also you can go to Pinterest. So for me, Pinterest, I would always Google like weird stuff like hypokalemia for dummies or hypokalemia mnemonics, stuff like that. So that way I'm able to get the most simple and easy to comprehend, because that's all you really need. And I found a lot of times if I can repeat, or if I can teach someone else the material, I understand it. So usually after studying, I'll get a quiet room by myself and I will just start speaking and just repeating the knowledge over and over and over again, kind of like I'm teaching a class, if you understand what I mean. So you want to make sure that you are studying smarter, not harder. A big game changer, the reason why I can tell you that practice makes a difference is because for each topic that I was studying for the test, I would look up practice questions, okay? And I would look up on Pinterest or just anywhere on the internet really, and I would take those and I would do the practice questions and look at the rationale. There's no point in doing practice questions just to say, oh, I got it right. And if you got it right, you never review the reason or the rationale behind why the answer is right. So what I did was, after I went through and did the questions, I would look at the rationale, making sure that I actually understand the why behind what it is that we do. And a lot of times people be like, oh, I studied for 14 hours because they have that luxury. I personally did not have that luxury. Between team practices, team meetings, all these clubs, associations, between all those things, I literally did not have the luxury of time. So what I did was, in the 2 hours, 3 hours that I would study, okay, I would first of all start a timer, 20 minutes at a time, because your girl does not have the longest attention span, so it was quite difficult to sit there and be like, oh, let's study. No. So I set a timer, and after like the 20-minute mark, I would find that it was easier for me to retain attention and to study a little bit more. So what I would do, of course, you put your phone to your side, you put it in another room, and you sit down with your material and you focus on quality, okay? Not quantity, not like, oh, yeah, I just studied for 15 hours, what's up? Because in those 15 hours, how much information did you actually absorb? So what I would do was, in those 3 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever, I make sure that I'm focused, number one, and then I make sure that I am understanding and comprehending it. Because once you get it one time, like I promise you, once you get the content one time, it's going to be very difficult for you to be jumbled along the way, as per se someone who never really grasped the concept, never really understood it, and then forever, ever, which is one of my biggest mistakes, was that when I was taking foundations or fundamentals, I didn't really comprehend. So later on, as the content was building up, because that's all nursing is, it builds up on one another. By the time I was trying to leave nursing school, I was just like, yo, I remember we talked about this a long time ago, but I don't really understand. So I had to go and reteach and relearn, and which is essentially doubling up on the work that you have to do. So get it right, and get it right the first time. It's a lot easier as you move along nursing school. And the last thing, the last key that I will say is, ask your professor. It sounds like, what? But yes, what I would do, especially in a class that I knew that I was struggling, like I already looked and it was going to be the fattest L ever. And so I would go to my professor and be like, oh, I'm really trying to understand the content. Like, what other material can I use? And usually they will give you the download. They'll let you know. You know, so I would discuss with the professor, so that way they know that I'm really trying, I'm really putting forth effort here, and that I want to excel and I want to do well in this class, okay? Oh, another thing would be that I used to always set goals for my exams, okay? So I'm about to walk in this test, I'm going to set my goal for 80. Okay, setting a goal makes it a little bit more realistic, okay? Kind of helps you plan it out, you know, so you're not just shooting for the stars and hopefully a cloud, you know, the moon, you know, a couple of fences will catch you. No, you have a goal. You know where you want to go, so that way you have something attainable and reachable. So that's basically how I conquered my test and anxiety. If you have any more tips, any other strategies that you used and that you currently use to help you beast at exams, get you out of nursing school, get you working with your license, go ahead and share. Comment below, say hi or whatnot. Follow me on social media. I'm way more active, and yeah, and thank you so much. Good luck testing. You got this. You got this, okay? You got this. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.